This is the April Q&A, so we're just going to go over a few of the questions that you've sent in to us. I always say to people with Epimediums, they're actually quite tolerant of dry shade. So that does rule out them being in heavy, wet clay because they really don't like it. However, there are some of the newer varieties which have been bred that will accept only acid soils or only alkaline soils. So it's a good idea to just look and see what the label says and requirements are, or if you're going to a specialist nursery, they'll know exactly what is required for the specific epimedium that you are trying to buy and whether your soil is good enough for it. Tall perennials can be quite difficult, and I'm not a fan of supporting things. I'd prefer to either make sure that they're not overfed, i.e. you haven't mulched them too much or given them too much top dressing. Also, if there's something that is tall and can be given a Chelsea chop, that will help and they will be a lot shorter, more floriferous and won't fall over. If that is not an option, then go for the natural stakes. So if you've got hazel, you can use that. If you've got willow, but just remember if you put willow in the ground, it will root. So you've got to be careful and make sure you take it out in the autumn so that you don't end up with willow trees all over the garden. Just use something that is natural. It's really the best way. We tend to put bark as a topping on all of our pots to help suppress weed, and it also helps with moisture content because it stops the evaporation off the top of the pot. We don't have a problem with it eating a lot of nitrogen out of the compost because we have plenty of food in the compost that we use in the containers. This can be the same if you're putting it onto your garden. Always make sure that you have top dressed the flower bed before you put bark on there for weed and moisture suppression, just so that the food is taken up by both the plants and the bark and you won't have starved plants. I never wanted to work inside, so there were two options for me. Follow my horsey line and work with ponies and horses and teach children to ride, or go into horticulture and enjoy plants and love being outside, propagating, playing with pots, playing with soil, and just basically being a big child at heart because, you know, you can just pot away, you can prick out plants. And yeah, so that was the choice. And I decided that actually the horsey route was too much like hard work. Playing with plants is much more fun. Tinted film's a strange one because you don't know what the light levels will be inside the greenhouse after you have put it on. You also don't know whether or not the glass will heat up, and therefore you're not getting any protection from actually keeping it cool in there. I think the answer is try it, see if it works. If it doesn't work, then it's very easy to take it off and you can quickly put something over the top of the greenhouse, like use the traditional old white paint wash or put some shade netting over the top. Seedlings don't need food initially because they have some in the store from the seed as they come up. They also feed themselves through the foliage that is there. But yes, as soon as you prick them out and you put them into their new containers, then that compost should have some food in it, which will keep them going for a short while. If not, then use something like a seaweed food to go over the top of them and use that once a week, but don't overdo it. Overwatering of any plant is always a difficult thing. The thing to remember is find out how heavy your seed trays are when you have watered them. find out how light they are when they are dry, and just remember that always check the weight of the trays before you actually water, because they can look as though they've dried out on the top when in actual fact underneath they're still wet. So that's the real key thing. Always check the weight of the pot or the tray that the seedlings have gone and been pricked out into. Quite a few people have been asking us where they're going to be appearing at Chelsea this year. A lot of you will know that Chelsea Flower Show was cancelled last year, and then this year it's been postponed and moved to September. And we have made a decision on what we are going to do, and this is a decision that we've made with our sponsor Candide. There will be an official announcement, so just watch out for that, either on our website or on our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and please do engage with the videos, and if you have anything that you would like us to actually try and do and express an interest, then we will try and film that and give you tips. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.